What's going on, Sage family? Today we're going to be talking about 4 simple steps to lose 5 to 10 pounds in 30 days. So, for those who've been watching me online on my Instagram at coach.hayward, you've noticed that I've lost about 15 plus pounds the last 5 weeks. Some of those steps are going to be incorporated in today's training. Now, if you guys get some value out of this, if this helps you on your weight loss, your fitness journey, make sure you like and subscribe. That being said, let's dive into the training. So, 4 simple steps. I'm going to explain each in depth on why they're so important. So the very first step that you want to take here is you got to have structure when it comes to your eating. So a few different examples when it comes to structure in our eating is number one is we can do a 12-hour time frame. 12-hour time frame is where basically if you eat your first meal at 7 a.m., you want your last meal to be done at 7 p.m. Okay, so that is a 12-hour time frame. That's going to help you work best with your circadian rhythm. Another example of a structure with your eating is fasting, right? Having certain rules in place. So for example, guys, right now, what I'm doing is my first meal of the day is around 1 p.m. In the morning, I'm not necessarily doing like actual fasting because I'm still having my coffee, cream, and honey. But in the morning, I'm not eating any actual real food, just having my coffees in the morning. That'll last me till about 1 p.m., having my first meal. And then my last meal is typically anywhere between 7 p.m. and then sometimes all the way to 9 p.m., depending on my schedule. So that's my eating structure though right now for my fat loss journey. But fasting can be a great one to have that structured, some sort of like time restriction in place for you. The reason why it's so important to have structure with your eating though is because the more predictable we can make our plans, the 10 times easier this is going to be. The more predictable you know when you eat, your eating times, the better your body will adjust as well. And if you do it right, it's going to help you keep full. So that way losing this weight is 10 times easier as well. Right? Because you have caffeine, you can have tea, little things like that in between your meals to help you keep full and keep on track. So having structure with your eating is super, super important when it comes to losing this body weight. Because if you think about it, if we kind of free for all it, we eat when we get hungry, we eat when we have a craving, we kind of eat and it's all over the place, right? We never know really how much we're eating, what we're eating, and things are just not structured in. Okay, so that's the first one is have structure with your eating there. Again, for what I'm doing, first meal's around 1 p.m. My last meal's around 7 or so p.m. And in the morning, I am doing what you think is a fast, but I'm having coffee, honey, cream. That's going to help keep me full. First meal, very high protein, very big meal, and then that's going to help keep me full and sustain me through the day. And then I'll eat supper, and then I'll go to the gym, and then there we go. Okay, so that is the first one though, is we got to have structure in our eating. So easy way to set that up is like, when's your first meal? When's your last meal? When's your other meals? How many times a day you're going to eat? What times will that be at? Are you going to prep your lunch for the day? You're going to cook each meal fresh? Getting all that structure in place so that way you don't have to play the guessing game. So when it comes time to eat lunch, it's like, oh no, I forgot my lunch at work. No, no, no. You have your lunch ready for you. Okay. So that's super important. So having structure with your eating. Next one here is protein and proper food swaps. I cannot stress this enough of how important this is when it comes to your weight loss. If you want to lose weight, I promise you, follow these 4 steps. It's going to cause some amazing changes. Even if the weight doesn't move on the scale, if the scale doesn't move, you're at least going to notice some amazing energy and you're going to feel so, so much better. So high protein and proper food swaps. What I mean by this one here is that for swaps is choosing better food, better energy, better fuel for your body that's not going to cause bloating or nothing like that. So for example, some swaps that I've made is I swapped out drinking milk to just drinking water or protein powder. I've swapped out oils for grass-fed butter. I've swapped out having a ton of rice or pasta for supper, and I'm still having a little bit of rice, but I'm also having more steak and then also adding on some eggs or whatever that may be. So more protein, a little bit less on the carbs to get me feeling a lot better. Other swaps that you can make is another example is like instead of having bread in the morning, switch to Greek yogurt, have fruit in there, a little bit of cinnamon, and that's going to make it super delicious as well. A little bit of honey maybe. But those proper swaps there to help you find what's gonna give you the best energy, get you feeling the absolute best, and making sure it's high protein. You can also add spices, hot sauce, mustard, little things like that. That's gonna help get the taste good, but also keep the calories low. Okay, so that's what I mean by making the proper switches. So like white bread, pastries, big loads of pasta. Like you should definitely not be having that for lunchtime because that's going to kill your energy levels, put you in a food coma. just making those overall proper swaps for yourself to help you lose this weight. Okay. And then high protein, cannot stress this enough. Easy way to go about it. 1 pound of protein per meal, unless you're only having like 2 meals a day, then maybe like 1 to 2 pounds of protein per meal to make sure you're really maximizing the protein intake, because the more protein you have, typically when you eat protein, it's going to be less calories, like whatever food you're eating, and it's going to fill you up. So it's going to keep you full for a long period of time. Specifically, it takes around like 6 hours, I think, to digest in our stomachs, like a steak, somewhere's around there. So it's going to keep you full. It's really, 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 really important. Okay. And also just amazing energy. So moving onwards, okay? If we can eat for fuel, guys, for most of the time and not eat based off like our emotions, our cravings, our feelings, we can make some amazing, amazing changes here. And that's going to help a lot with the control. Now, the next one here is walk 8 to 10K steps a day, train 2 to 3 times a week. So the rule of thumb is that if you train 2 times a week, you're going to preserve your muscle mass. If you train 3 times a week, it's going to help you actually grow and make progress. Now, it's important to be strength training at any age, any level, because you want to keep your muscle mass on your body, because that is your metabolic driver, basically. Okay, when I say metabolic driver, what I mean by that is like how many calories you burn on a daily basis, just automatically. Okay, so as you can see, it's very, very important to make sure we're getting in exercise, strength training specifically. And if you can walk 8 to 10K steps a day, I add that in because I noticed my best clients who are losing 8, 10 pounds plus a month, they're usually hitting 10,000 plus steps a day. And the thing about that is that it's a great habit to have, and positive actions crave more positive actions. So if you think about it, if you go for a really good workout, or if you go for a great walk someday, it's not like you're going to want to come home and then self-sabotage and end up eating the worst foods for you, right? Because you're feeling good about yourself and you're going to want to keep feeling good about yourself. So that's why I added that one in there. Now, the next one here is sleep routine with morning routine to get mind on track. So what I mean by this one is that just like having structure in our eating, we should have a structure when it comes to our schedules in our lives. You know, we all know when we go to work and when we end work, we should be doing this when we wake up, go to sleep, when we work out, all that should be structured in, because everyone will say, yes, my health and my fitness is my priority, but then we look at their calendars and there's nothing on there that includes their health and their fitness, right? So when it comes to grocery shopping, working out, add that in just like your normal daily work schedule. Make it predictable, make it consistent, so that way you can develop the habits to really make this like a part of your identity, where it would literally be weird to miss that workout on Wednesday because you've done it so many times. It's in your schedule, it's ingrained into you, where it'd be weird if you didn't get that workout done. That's what we want to do here, right? It's an identity change. It's not just a plan or a diet. So that's why having a routine is so important. So you can start from when you wake up and sleep and then build it out from there. Add your workouts in, your workouts, you know, morning routine. Highly recommend a morning routine, because if you think about it, why do most people struggle, or why do a lot of people struggle to lose weight and keep it off? A lot of times the mind control, either our emotions, we get too stressed, we get too overwhelmed, we start to doubt ourselves. In the mind, it all starts in the mind. So if every morning you can start your day off fresh with a positive mindset, ready to take action, great energy, you're feeling good, you looked over your goals, you're looking at the positives, and you're setting yourself up for success, you're going to carry that out into your day and have an amazing day. But if we wake up and we're checking our phones, we're not taking care of ourselves in the morning, we're rushing to work, we're stressed out, we're drinking the coffee too soon, our cortisol levels are spiked, our adrenaline's going, we're going to have anxiety, we're not going to have the best day because we're setting ourselves up for failure in the morning. Okay, so like the saying goes, swallow the biggest frog first. So that's why it's important to have that one there. And the last one I'll share with you guys here is, and I just realized 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 steps here. I just realized that. So set up rules in place for treats. Okay, what I mean by this is like a lot of my UK clients have a battle with this when it comes to like their biscuits, right? If we play the free-for-all game where it's like, okay, I'm going to try to be eating healthier, but I still want these biscuits. As human beings, we really struggle with trying to balance in those vices and like those little goodies, right? So this is why it's important to have treats in place, specific days where it's like, okay, I don't have any treats from Monday to Friday. I don't have any wine from Monday to Friday, but on Saturday, I do have wine. And then what you can do is just balance the calories out, right? Really set yourself up for success. That's what you guys can probably see here this training today, is setting your future self up for success. So if you have rules in place though, where you have those certain days where you have your treats, so like for example, I've lost 15 pounds in 5 weeks. I'm still eating pizza, burgers, chocolate milk, ice cream, still having all that stuff. But I keep it for the weekend on a specific day, so that way I can make sure all my calories are still aligned. Okay, so from Monday to Friday, everything's on track, on point, eating for fuel, high protein, low calories. And then Saturday is a cheat day. All the carbs I want, all the food that I want, and then I just balance it out after. Okay, so this is why it's super important to have rules in place, and that's going to help you also build up your discipline levels as well and make it easier for you to say no to things and opportunities that are going to not benefit your goals and help you get to where you want to go, right? Stick to your promises, though, if you're going to do that. Stick to your standards, and that's going to help you get to your goal much faster and build your confidence. One more thing, too, with all this, too, is that if you get on a good structured, solid routine that's consistent, that's robotic, it's going to help tremendously with your hormones. Just balancing things out, making sure you're fully optimized and feeling at your best. All right. So, guys, this is the training for today. Very different training, as you can see, but very helpful. This is how you're going to lose that 5 to 10 pounds in the next 30 days. If you follow these action steps that I just laid out for you, if you live by them daily and you start identifying yourself as the person you want to be, and just try to live up to being that person every single day. You're going to have the ups and downs. You're going to have the low moments, but you got to keep moving forward for yourself and remember why you started, right? Because when we feel like quitting, it only feels good in the moment. It only feels good in the moment to quit. But then a few months later, we're going to regret it. We're going to be right back in the same place we're trying to get away from. So just keep moving forward. Keep trying. You will find a way if you want this bad enough. I believe in you 100%. And if you need help, you can reach me on Instagram at coach.hayward. Message me CH for details. We help 30+ age women specifically who are determined to make a life-proof routine and permanently lose their weight once and for all and take control of food. So that's you and you need help, shoot me a message. I'm right here to support you. Beyond that, I hope you enjoyed the training here today, guys. And I hope you take action on this. If you do, let me know what you think in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.